No mai hara mai, and welcome to Bay Chat for another wet Friday afternoon. Kia ora e te iwi, I'm Marcus Howie, and we're here for AR Plus Bay Chat. I've got a couple of guests here, one familiar face from a couple of episodes here, Owen, and to the left of me we've got Gary the Gurnard Wright, and it's his birthday today. So big happy birthday to you, Gary. I hope it's going to be a good Friday night for you tonight.
Yep.
So welcome to the show. As you can see, Owen here, repping Rangiuru. We've got Gary here, representing the only club he ever knows of, Greta Marist, aka the Gurnards. Crack into it, fellas. We've had a bit of a busy few 48 hours. We've had the tackle fives in Rotorua, the Chiefs finals day. How good? How good? Start with you, Owen, your reflection on that day.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It was great to see a lot of kids out there representing their kura and enjoying the day. I had a chat to some of the tamariki out there and they were just loving it. Great to see a lot of schools being involved, especially those from Thames Valley and King Country, and coming out and spending the day with our Bay champions over there. So, yeah, we started off with a parade, took them around. There's a lot of the kids were singing their school chants and their school anthems, and they were just really excited to be there. Really thankful that the weather was really good for us too. That was awesome for all of us to enjoy the day. But taking our hats off to our referees for the day, because it was just back-to-back games, and yeah, it was really full on and great to see a lot of talent on display for the day.
Awesome. 470 kids, Gary. A lot of kids playing, 292 games on 12 fields. How did you get on, mate?
Oh, obviously, running around reffing all day is tough. My legs feel much sorer than that from actually playing rugby. But just seeing all those kids out there just playing rugby is the main thing, like enjoying it, running around, making the tackles, and yeah, that's just the good part about it. There, so many kids out there enjoying rugby.
Exactly. And kids joining us from the King Country, as you mentioned, and from the Thames Valley, from all over those provincial unions, as far afield as Turangi, as far as Whangamata, and then, of course, our kids from up at Whangaparo who came as well. So we had right across our motu, and it was really awesome to see. So congratulations, as you sure go across the screen there, Western Heights Primary from Rotorua and Te Ako Ki Papamoa taking out the boys and girls titles for 2025. But to all the kids that took part in the day, congratulations. The main thing was getting out there, loving the game, learning something about tackle fives, and going home with a bit of a buzz, which we all went home feeling pretty chuffed about ourselves as well. Monday night was our Mount Maunganui 4 Square Secondary School Girls Finals. First game we got there, Rotorua Girls High taking out the Senior Girls Championship for 2025. Congratulations, Rotorua Girls. Tauranga Girls took out the Junior Girls Final at Otamoitai College, so congratulations to Tauranga Girls, and a big shout out to our mate James Henderson, who was coaching the Otamoitai Barbarians. And into the Girls Development Final across there in Whakatane, Trident High School taking out the title for 2025. So congratulations to those girls teams winners in the Mount Maunganui 4 Square Secondary School Girls competition for 2025. Let's take a look at what happened over the weekend. Kia ora, Scott Jones. How are you, mate? Let's take a look at what happened last weekend. Baywide Men's Championship. Here we go. Te Puke. Boys, I reckon this is a big upset here. Tauranga Sports knocking over Te Puke at the Pirate Ship. Yeah, at the Pirate Ship. 36 points to 22. Fletcher Carpenter was back steering the ship for the Pirates, but Cashy was back running the 10 for the Raptors. So, and I believe from looking at some footage, Cashy had a blinder, an absolute blinder, Gary. And that was reflected in that score there, 36 points to 22. So congratulations to the Raptors getting up and knocking Te Puke off first time at home. This one makes you proud, mate. Getting one up over the Mounties, 41 points to 24 at the Swamp. How was conditions at Grenham Park?
As always, perfect conditions at Grenham. I think it was a sunny day, so that could be helped. Yep.
And then on to Saturday there, Tapuna getting a one up over their whānau, 36 points to 14 at Te Ariki Park over Rangatawa. Whakarewarewa. They had the bye. Owen, do you want to run us through the Devos? Oh, hold up. We've got a points table in front of us. Whakarewarewa. They're now outright taking the lead there. They're on 43 points. Te Puke back in second on 40. Now we've got a battle on our hands here, Gary. Tauranga Sports 32, Greaton 30, and Tapuna and the Mount locked at 25. Anyone's game for that third and fourth spot.
Yep. So, yeah, hopefully Greaton can get the win this weekend where you can secure that semi-final. It'll be nice.
Oh, and what happened in those Devo, mate? Oh, actually, we'll go with the birthday boy. It's his grade. He's running out there. Run through and yeah.
So the first game, Te Puke beat Tauranga Sports 32-26. I think Te Puke were leading by a bit, and Tauranga Sports snatched a few crucial 2 bonus points, which could come crucial at the end of the season. Greta Maris got over Mount Maunganui 22-10. It was a nice, good game, and it was good that Greta got the win. And Tapuna beat Rangatawa 64-17.
Big win there.
Whakarewarewa with the bye.
Let's take a look at that points table. You were just talking to us about this before. Want to run us through what's happening there, mate?
Yep. So Waka have got a slight lead over Tapuna on 42, and Tapuna 38. Mount just behind on 33, and then it gets real interesting with the logos mixed around. But Tauranga Sports on 26, and Greaton's just sitting back there on 25. So it becomes really close to the last few games. So it's a real tight tussle.
Yep.
Few wins, few losses, and it could be anyone's game.
So you reckon? So Te Puke's still in with a slight outside chance.
Yeah. So Te Puke, 18 still can. If they can snatch 2 victories, they could. Upset someone. Yep. And then obviously Rangatawa there. Don't count them out because you just never know with Papaka. They always can come up with Jimmy on their day.
We've always said that they now become the party poopers, and they can spoil someone's party here.
Definitely change those logos though.
Right, into the Western Bay here, and of course we've got Owen here repping one of the teams here. This was the big semi-finals. We said last week, Katikati going to Arataki Park. Katikati hadn't lost to Arataki this season. There had been 2 cliffhangers, but Arataki took that on board. They went out to a big first half lead and made Katikati play catch-up rugby. And at the end of the game, Arataki just too far ahead, taking that one by 37 points to 27. And a very similar scenario here, fellas, at Centennial Park for Rangiuru. They shot out to an early lead. They actually shot out to that final score. And ED played catch-up and scored some good points at the back end to have a respectable score, but too far to catch up. And Rangiuru, too good on the day at home, 36-25 over ED. Got something to say, Owie?
Yeah, tight tussles, and it always is at the business end of the season. Everyone wants to claim their final spot and, win that big dance. So well done to all teams that have qualified to make it to the big dance.
Over to Central Bay.
Okay, Central Bay, our seniors, Eastern Pirates. It's a big margin, big win by Nongataha, 45-25. Maris St. Michael's, 45-12 over Murupara. Rotaiti, some big scores there over on that side. 41-16 over Kahukura.
They defended the Ty Mitchell Shield for that one for the 3rd week in a row now for them. So well done, Rotaiti.
They might hold on to it for the remainder of the season.
They might well do.
And no score there for Waikite Reparoa.
That wasn't used, obviously. What happened in Eastern there, Gary?
Te Teko Senior Bees beat Rotoki 46-0. Aporiki beat Edgecombe in a tight one, 24-20. Waimana, they pulled away with a good win over Paroa, 48-24. And Matata beat Porapora 22-10.
Some good scores there. And into the Premier Men's there, Tāne Atua, they got up over, they didn't actually. The Whiki getting up, Paroa getting up 53 points to 27. A big win there for Whakatane Marist over Poraporo and Ruwa Toki getting a wee nudge onto tackle, 28-17 with Opotiki, the front runners with the bye. Into the Baywide woman there, Owen.
Well, big score there, almost like a cricket score for G-Town. 94 over the Pirates, 5.
And big shout out to Izzy Northcross. She scored 34 points in this match.
Oh, wow.
100% off the boot, and she got a couple of meat pies as well.
Feel sorry for the person running the tea.
Busy day for the tea person. Very close tussle between Arataki and Waimana. Waimana getting up over Arataki, 22-20. So that would have been a big tussle right there. We don't have any results or default. Well, Pirates defaulted to Te Puna. And Whakarewa Women's getting up over Opotiki, 31-10.
Quick look at the points table there, and Whakarewa out on 45, Te Puna on 31, Opotiki on 29, Kahu Pirates on 21, Greta Marish 20, Waimana 17, Arataki on 8, and Te Puke to get off the donut. And into the Baywide Premier Women's there, Nongataha, too good for Poroporo, 43 points to 10. The Mount tussled away with Ruatoki and pulled away 43 points to 31. And a good win there for Rangatawa away, 49 points to 19 against Tongariro. And on the points table there, she's a tight one, really, really tight one. We've got Nongataha leading the way on 36, closely followed by Mount 32, Rangatawa on 30. And then the battle for that 4th spot looks interesting. It's between Ruatoki and Poroporo, and Tongariro at the bottom there on 4 points. All right, so with all this weather around, what's Gretton Park looking like if you had a home game tomorrow?
It'll be perfect conditions as always, but maybe a bit damp underfoot, but it will hold up well.
So
Not no swimming just yet.
Let's get some clarity. You guys are called the Gurnards. Brendan McEwen's come in, stirred the pot, put a bit of knots in there. Yep. Where does the word Gurnards come from?
That's a good question. So I think it came initially from a bit of a joke to the bottom feeding fish from the other senior teams that when Grennan came into the Prems. Thought it was a bit of a joke, and we just sort of adopted it as our own. And as we've risen through the ranks, it's become more and more popular. Obviously, BMAX wanted to bring in his own twist to it and a bit more of a fearsome night, but either or. I'm happy with either. It's just Grennan's it, G-Town, whatever you want to call it.
Nice.
We're here to play.
Nice. And let's take a look at this weekend's roundup of matches. Baywide Premier Men's, fellas, we're going to stick our hats on for these ones. Te Puna, they're back home at Maramatanga Park with some salutes towards Te Puke Pirates. Owen, we'll start with you. Thoughts on this game?
Even though the Blue and Black Army are hosting this game, I'm going to give this one to Te Puke Pirates just purely on form throughout the season. Unlucky to get the win last week over the Raptors, but I'm going to go with Te Puke Pirates for that one.
Nice. Gary?
Yeah, after their ship got sunk last week, I'm actually going to tip the home team. I reckon last game at home for Te Puna, Diahi Toma Magic. Te Puna's going to upset them and take a win.
Nice. And with all this weather around, Maramatanga Park will look like a swimming pool as well. So it'll be a battle of the mud. I'm going to go for a draw here, fellas. I think it's just going to be an absolute arm wrestle. To Gretton Park, it's Greta Maris taking on Rangatawa. 2:45 kickoff. We'll start with the birthday boy. Thoughts on this one?
Well, we'll go Greta Maris for this one, but should be a good game. Rangatawa, we always seem to lift the gear when they come play their close neighbours, Greta. No doubt, Alex Jessup will probably play 80 minutes for D-Bell, then cameo off the bench for the Prems, no doubt. But definitely we'll back Greta for this one.
I hear there's silverware between the two clubs. Is that on the line tomorrow?
Could be. I don't know what. I'm not sure. Unaware.
Okay.
Unaware of that.
I know BMAX said there has been silverware between the two clubs, but maybe in a first rounder.
Maybe.
Owen, thoughts on?
Oh, I think it's going to be at the Swamp. It's going to be a very tight tussle. I think G-Town's going to get up over it, but I wouldn't count off the Pāpaka. They're going to bring it knowing that it's the closing end of the season and they're going to really push G-Town. And if G-Town does manage to get the win over them, look out for the semi-finals.
Lads, I think this will come down to a battle of goal kicking, to be honest. In the mud, whoever can kick better in the mud, they've got Junior Motatea. He's the man with a bit of form off the kicking tee. So I think he will steer the Gurnites home in this one, purely because he's the informed goal kicker and he knows how to kick in the mud in the swamp. So let's go Gretton for this one. I'm going to go Gretton by 6. To the Domain. Again, this will be a wet one at Tauranga Domain. It is Tauranga Sports versus Whakarewarewa, the red hot side, the informed side, taking on the side that's top of the table. Owen, thoughts?
Yeah, at Jurassic Park at the Domain, Tauranga Sports getting their win over Te Puke. They'll be relying on that to give them motivation against Whakarewarewa, the Red and Blacks. I'm going to go with Tauranga Sports on this one. Whakarewarewa will really need to lift their game, not be too complacent turning up to Jurassic Park, but they're going to really have to lift against Tauranga Sports, who are really coming through at this part of the tournament.
Gary?
With Cashy back running the ship, I've heard rumours Josh Honey's back from his European sabbatical as well. So if he dons the boots, it might be a game changer. But I'm going to back Whakarewarewa. They've looked good all year. And going for Whaka on that one.
And in this weather here, the ball gets muscled up in the forwards. The backs might not see as much ball as they'd like. And I think Waka has the forward pack to do this. So I'm going to agree with you in this one, Gary, and I'm going to back Waka through the forwards to win this one. And, of course, the Marlins have the bye. Gary, your beloved development, you want to run us through those draws?
So Te Puna taking on Te Puke. Obviously, Gretton at home in the beautiful conditions of Glen Park against Rangatawa. And Tauranga Sports are taking on Whakarewarewa at the Domain. And, Mount Maunganui with the bye.
Are we the Baywide Colts?
The Baywide Colts, we've got Te Teko taking on Taupo Sports. Papamore Colts are playing Mara St. Michael's. Tauranga Sports against Te Puke, so it's going to be a day for the Raptors. And G-Town are hosting Mount Maunganui.
And here's the big one, lads. It's the Western Bay Senior Men's Final. Whānau versus Whānau. Rangiuru at home, Centennial Park in Te Puke, up against Arataki. You're wearing the colours. Give us a rundown. How do you think this will go?
Yeah, again, it's always a big game for both teams. Rangiuru hosting Arataki. But I do recall a few years back where this same game happened in like a finals, and it was Arataki playing Rangiuru. And both the Whānau, it's going to be who turns up on the day to play some rugby. And it is going to be very, very, very close. I'll have to support our Whānau at Rangiuru, but it's not going to be an easy day for them.
Gary, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it'll be a close game. Definitely in the wet. It'll be nice and physical, no doubt. But I'll go on the other side and I'll back Arataki to come away with an away final win.
Lads, this is the be-all and end-all for Western Bay. One of these teams will challenge for a spot in the Baywide with the top CBOP side. Both teams have been in the Baywide previously in the last couple of years and will be amping to get back there and get their name back on the map. I think, again, you both nailed it. Both teams got off to fast starts last week, and I'm sure they'll both be aware that if one team gets out by a few points, it'll be tough for the other to catch up. So they will be really, really aware of this, both coaches. So I think this is going to go down to the wire. But the home side, I think, may just have the edge on Billy Russell's Arataki side in this one. So I think Rangiuru to get up, but just. So good luck. Both teams there in the Western Bay final. Over to Central Bay there. Murupara are taking on Nongotaha. Waikiti are hosting Rotoiti. Another challenge for the Ty Mitchell Shield. Kokura home to Eastern Pirates. And we've got Reparoa hosting Marison Mikes down there at Reparoa Park. Oh, and what's happening over on the east?
Te Teko are playing Matata. Purupuros playing Pāroa Senior Bs. Ruatoki Senior As are playing Opotiki Senior As. Edgecombe are playing Waimana.
Nice. And into the Premiers there, Gary.
In the Premier, we got Poro playing Paroa. Te Teko are taking on Whakatane Marist, and Ruatoki are taking on Apotiki, with Taniatua having the week off for the bye.
And over to Sunday, we've got Greta Maris taking on Waimana at Waimana. We've got Te Puke taking on Arataki at Murray Salt, and Te Puna are hosting Opotiki. And in the Baywide Premier Women's, Rangatawa, this is going to be a battle of the ages. Rangatawa taking on Mount Maunganui. Lads, thoughts on this one, Gary?
Definitely, there's a few from either side in the Bay office, from Rangatawa and the Mount are now Bay activators. So I don't think any of them are here at the moment. So I'm backing the Mount on this one. I think the Mount have got a few key Blackburns back, looking at their team list. So I think the Mount might edge it. Although at Rangatawa, the field might be a bit muddy, so it could suit the Papaka. But we'll back them out.
Oh,
yeah, I'm going to go with Rangatawa on that one. I think they're going to get up for this game because, with a few discussions been happening here in the Bay office and here in the banter backwards and forwards. So I'm going to go with Rangatawa. I'll back them to go on this one. And I think Rangatawa will take it by 7 points.
Whoa. As you said, Gary, it's a battle in the mud up there at Te Ariki Park. Whoever can kick better will win this one again. As I say, if it comes down to a nail biter, Jess Waldron off the tee, I'm hoping it's going to be her day. I'm going to go the Marlins. Just 2 points, boys. Nongataha, they're taking on Tongariro at Nongataha Domain. Owie, thoughts?
Yeah, I think Nongataha is just going to take this one out quite comfortably, actually, being sitting at the top of the table all season. So Tongariro will have to bring a whole lot of mana with them to come and play against Nongataha, with Nongataha being the form side.
Gary?
Yep. So having their first loss from last week, I think Nongataha will come out firing and definitely trying to make up for last week, and no doubt a few tries, and Nongataha in this one.
Talent right through that Nongataha 15. It'll be Nongataha for me too. And Ruatoki, they're hosting Poro. I'm going to get first dibs on this one. Ruatoki for me at home.
Yep. I can't remember what the table looked like for either side, but I'll back Ruatoki. They look like at home, always good at home. Yeah, Ruatoki for me.
There's 2 points separating them in the middle of the table.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ruatoki as well, just purely because at home they'll bring their supporters and all the whānau down to go and cheer them on. But it's going to be a tough day for our other whānau at Poro.
All right, fellas, it's been an exciting week with announcements of All Black and Māori All Black sides. Let's take a quick look at the Māori All Black. A few of our steamers have filled some holes, and also big honours to Kurt Eklund, the Bay Steamers captain, is now the captain of the Māori All Blacks. We've also got Bene Kumiroa, Cole Forbes, and Caleb Trasky. So they could have brought in also in there. So some form shown through Super Rugby, and the Bay are fully representative in there, Owen.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great talent there. A few of our other boys were unlucky to miss out in some of those teams. I'm looking at Akui as well, just talking about him. And also LC, not being mentioned I'm sure he's been mentioned in the All Black discussions. But, those two for me stood out this season for the Chiefs. So I thought they might, be close to being in the AB side. But it was great to see some representation from the Bay and the Māori All Blacks. So, well done, lads.
And good luck to the boys tonight. They take on, is it tonight? Tomorrow. They take on Japan tomorrow night. So congratulations. And also honours into the highest of all honours, All Blacks. We've got Pasi and Emoni both selected into the All Blacks. So congratulations, fellas, as they prepare for the campaign against the French. Thoughts on that one?
Should be a good series. Obviously, France have come with a half of sort of a B side, but the All Blacks no doubt will be coming out firing. And definitely Pasi, the good Greta man, and one of the people with the biggest smile you ever see. Hopefully he gets some good game time and goes well. And And hopefully Amoni gets a crack as well, because he's probably been one of the form wingers of Super Rugby. So probably unlucky not to be in the actual full squad itself.
We'll look at last week's Super Final, and we, as you've reflected on some of that form, Leroy Carter and Naitoa Akoi, two players I would say will be in the back of Razor's mind. Right sitting there, any injury cover. Naitoa has been a workhorse for the Steamers and the Chiefs for a couple of seasons now, so must be knocking on the All Blacks' door. Leroy Carter, great season. He probably faded a little bit towards the back end of the campaign, but maybe another Super Rugby campaign for him might just see him in through the door, or maybe a tour, Northern Tour at the end of this year.
Yeah, first year of Super Rugby, so it's still got plenty of time.
Yeah. And also, we still have to congratulate the Chiefs. They made the final. They didn't bring home the bacon, but they still made the Super Rugby final. So heads up there. And we look forward to seeing our Steamers boys back into office in the coming weeks as they start to filter back off super contracts. Lads, that's all we've got time for. Hopefully this weather disappears. By looking at the rain radar, it's not going away anytime soon. So stay safe out there. You have a great birthday, Gary. Don't drink too much tonight, mate, especially with a big game tomorrow. Have a couple of but enjoy that milestone. Owen, thanks very much, bro. And stay safe out there on the roads. If you don't have to be out there, don't go driving. Remember, if you're drinking and driving, try and find another way of getting home. And respect our referees out there, folks. I'm Marcus Howie. Noho ora mai.